Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about some upcoming severe weather events that are possible. We're going to be going day by day over the next 2 weeks and just taking a look at those CAPE values, or convective available potential energy, and also when the temperatures could be really ripe for severe weather development. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social medias. Now, for today's comment of the day, I'm going to be asking you guys, make a bold prediction about 2020 for the weather. What kind of weather do you think we could be seeing? I want to hear some really bold ones, and I will be picking one for tomorrow's video. Now, let's get right into things. First things first, we're looking at our temperature anomalies here. This is going to be Tuesday morning, March 10th. And we can see that we have above normal temperatures there for the south central United States. If you watched yesterday's video, you would know that we're going to be seeing a lot of these above average temperatures for the central and eastern United States. And that's going to help some earlier severe weather development. That's going to feel a lot more like April or May. So we can see well above average temperatures. But as we head towards Wednesday morning, things get even warmer in those pink areas. 8 to 16 degrees above average there for Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, portions of Kansas and Arkansas as well. So very, very ripe temperatures for severe weather development. And here's that actual temperature. You can see widespread upper 70s there for Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, and even 80s down there for southern Texas. Now we're about to take a look at our CAPE in a second for this same frame here on Wednesday, and we'll be taking a look at if we could be seeing some severe weather for March 11th. Alright, so here is our CAPE, our convective available potential energy, and I've been trying to teach you guys about this measurement here for probably the last couple of months. We see in those more darkish purplish colors, that's where we're under 1,000 CAPE, but we do have some, and that's going to be enough for thunderstorm development typically. But it's once we get into those kind of magenta colors, we can see a bit of that for southern Oklahoma and northern Texas, as well as some dots of it there in Arkansas. That's where we're over 1,000 CAPE. And what that's going to do is it's going to be a measurement that tells us we have substantial amounts of humidity and high enough temperatures there for severe weather development. We can see it with under 1,000, but typically 1,000 is our threshold for severe weather. And this is going to tell me that March 11th could be a day to go ahead and mark on your calendar if you're in Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, maybe even Louisiana or Mississippi and Alabama. Definitely looking like a day that could be pretty ripe there. It's as we head towards March 12th, we also have mid to upper 70s here for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. And here's our CAPE, but we can see it's mostly down there for Texas and Louisiana on March 12th, but nevertheless it is there. So I'm thinking that could be a day where we could also see severe weather development. So I'd mark the 11th and the 12th for potential severe weather to be around. Now we're about to move on and take a look at some even further dates that I think could have severe weather development. Alright, so as you can see, this is actually going to be by about March 16th. That's going to be a Monday, and this is at about 2 p.m. and we can see widespread upper 60s. Upper 60s is good enough for severe weather in a lot of cases. Even 50s, it's not impossible, but definitely 60s and 70s is substantial enough. Obviously, the warmer the better, but definitely we have a lot of widespread areas in the 70s here, so definitely substantial temperatures, good enough for severe weather. And this one's an interesting one on March 16th by about 2 p.m. We see the purple shades making their way all the way up through Kansas and Oklahoma and Colorado, but down through Texas, we see some of those magentas pretty widespread for the 1,000 plus amounts. I'm thinking March 16th could be a date that, again, you could go ahead and mark in your calendar because it's looking substantial. And as we head on towards about 8 p.m. on March 16th, we see widespread 1,000 to 2,000. I do see some 2,000s popping up. So, I mean, this is substantial amounts of CAPE. This is very, very far in the future, though. So I'm not thinking that this is going to be perfect or exactly like this. But I do think that this is a sign that around March 16th, we could have favorable conditions. It's about 9 days away. So obviously we do know that this is a very, very long range outlook here, but I do think that this does look substantial. And with the placement of the low pressure system to the north, I think that we will have some severe weather somewhere around March 16th. But for right now, the GFS is thinking Texas could be a very big day. Let's move towards 2 a.m. on March 17th, and we could still see the 1,000 plus amounts widespread throughout Texas and even making their way into Oklahoma by this point. And here's the precipitation. So you can see this would be the biggest problem, is that we're not seeing too much precipitation development. Ignore the fact that it's only greens. I know this looks like it's only showers, but the GFS typically wouldn't show up with oranges or reds because it's very low resolution. So we just want to pay attention to where the greens are. And most likely on radar, it would pop up as thunderstorms, not as like these green showers here. Now we're about to move on to some even further dates and just take a look. I'm going to just mark down some dates that are looking like they have high CAPE values, high temperatures, and things of that nature. All right, so this is going to be still March 17th by 8 a.m. We still have the 1,000 plus CAPE amounts, so I'm thinking that 16th through 17th could be a big time slot here. As the low pressure system is to the north, we see a cold front coming through, and out in front of that cold front, I would expect supercell development to be possible. Here's 2 p.m. by March 17th, Tuesday. We could still see the 1,000 plus amounts making their way into Louisiana actually too as well, but still coastal Texas. And if you look at the actual temperatures, this is going to be the high temperatures for Tuesday, March 17th. We see that there is substantial temperature still, mid to upper 70s, even some 90s popping up there possibly for southern Texas. So, I mean, very, very warm and unseasonably warm temperatures for Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and all the way up. I mean, I see 65, 66 up there in northern Missouri and in through Iowa. Very unseasonably warm there. So warm temperatures are going to be everywhere for the central and eastern United States. And here's that simulated radar. We do see the yellows and oranges popping up by this point for Texas. And then in through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, and Kentucky. These are all areas where I expect the most severe weather this year, up further a little bit to the north. And we see that cold air up to the north, and I think that's going to be a lot of what we see, these massive warm-ups, and then the cold fronts that come through. And out in front of the cold fronts, I think we could see supercell development. That's very classic, and I just think we're going to see more of that this year than what is typical. Now, we're about to move on towards an even further in the future date where I think we could see some severe weather development. Obviously, the further in we get, the less likely it is to occur, but I did want to just mark down some dates where the models are trending at a low pressure system being in prime position with the warm air out in front of the cold front underneath. It's just very, very classic setups here that I can see there is potential. All right, and this is going to be by March 21st, or actually the 20th at about 8 p.m. That's going to be a Friday. So obviously this is very, very far in the future by this point. We're over 10 days. At about 13 days from now, we're seeing 2,000 plus CAPE in those orangish shades. So this model definitely thinks that as we move on, we're just going to see these events one after the other every few days. We're going to see these little mini outbreaks. They could be even, legit outbreaks, moderate to enhanced to high risk. We don't know at this point, obviously, because it's just going to have to get closer and closer, and then we'll see how things play out, obviously. Once we're within 3 days, we definitely have a good handle on how severe the events will be, but when it's at 13 days, it's hardly even something you need to pay attention to. But I just wanted to mention that around the 20th, 21st time frame, it does have very, very high CAPE values, which again is just very high humidity, very high temperatures, and just really good for storm development. Here's the actual temperatures by 8 p.m. on the 20th, and you can see by 8 p.m. we have 70s all over the place for Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma. And then here's your CAPE by about 2 a.m. on Sunday, March 22nd. So from the 20th through the 22nd, we have very high CAPE values looking to set up in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. But again, this is very, very far-fetched. It's very far out. I just wanted to show this because I wanted to go through the whole model run and just see the dates that as of right now it thinks there could be severe weather. And then let's look at, this is going to be the 22nd by about 2 a.m. here. The same frame actually. And we see very, very high precipitation rates there for Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Very interesting stuff here, but we have a big warm up for the East Coast by this point, the model is thinking. So this would definitely create more instability across the eastern United States, allowing for a thunderstorm type event to occur for a lot of these further north regions there. Now, for your comment of the day, Jason Swearingen, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Swearingen it might be. The question was, what was the most snowfall you've ever measured? And he said, in the blizzard of 96, obviously a very classic one, 41 inches in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Awesome story there. 41 inches in one storm is amazing. I don't think we will ever see a blizzard like the blizzard of 96 again, at least not anytime soon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media, and I will see you guys in the next video.